Thanks again for joining us. New bus routes are planned for the Northwest Metro, changes that aim to answer a call for better service. Post-pandemic ridership has changed, forcing Metro Transit to revisit its routes. Changes expected include new routes, redesigned routes, and greater frequency of the existing routes. Hennepin County Commissioner Jeff Lundy, who represents the Northwest Metro, says it's tough to get from east to west on existing bus routes.
I think the thing that's always been Brooklyn Park's challenge is you can't get from East Brooklyn Park to West Brooklyn Park. You have to leave, go down outside the city, come back in.
A proposed new bus line makes an effort to fix that. The 725 line would be a crosstown route running on 85th Avenue. It would serve Osseo, Brooklyn Park, and Blaine. You can blame Maple Grove's clay soil for no ice castles in the city this year. A Utah-based company tried to construct ice castles near the city's Main Street, but the attraction only lasted 5 days last year due to a historically warm winter. Maple Grove tourism leaders say drainage was also a problem because of the area's clay soil. The company will try again this winter, but instead will move the attraction to the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. Memorial Blood Centers put out an urgent call for blood donors after the hurricanes down south. Today in Newsmakers, Shannon Slatton sits down with Memorial Blood Centers' Phil Losiker about the need they expect to see.
In a nutshell, Memorial Blood Centers is your community blood center. We serve 42 hospitals in Minnesota, and in western Wisconsin. We provide blood products to those hospitals so that they can in turn serve patients in need. We have donor centers throughout the metro area in Maple Grove and Plymouth. That's our job, is to find donors who are willing to give of themselves so that people in our communities can do well.
Sure. And how are donations going right now? What are you guys seeing?
It's an everyday thing. People in Minnesota are very generous, and people step up to donate. Nationwide, only about 3% of the population donates blood, so we work real hard to try to increase that number, and also to get those 3% to come in, frequently, because they have experience with it. Not frequently, but as often as they can.
Right, as often as they can. We've had an active hurricane season. We've heard a lot about natural disasters. How does that factor into the need, or how much you guys need to collect?
Well, I think it's a question of preparedness. The natural disasters that are happening in conjunction with the hurricanes in the southeastern part of the U.S. Seem far away. Today's a gorgeous day in the Twin Cities. But what happens really is those areas can get inundated with floodwaters, and their ability to collect blood in the future gets compromised. So it's not so much that they need blood today, but a couple days from now, a week from now, a month from now, their inability to collect blood is pretty high, and people have other things that they're dealing with, certainly. So we stand ready, as do other blood centers around the country, to provide products to those areas.
Now, for someone who's never donated before, what are they looking at when they come in? How long will that take, and what's the process?
It'll take less than an hour. Interview, a little mini physical, and then donation itself. Basic requiremements are you have to be 16 years of age and weigh 110 pounds and be well and healthy. Many people fit those parameters. Sure. It's painless, it's easy, it's convenient. We want to make sure that people have an excellent experience donating blood, because then they tend to come back.
Which is important.
It is.
Find out more information on your website. Tell us what that is really quickly.
Our website is mbc.org, mbc.org.
All right, we got it. Phil Losiker with Memorial Blood Centers, thank you for being here.
Thanks very much, Shannon.
A Plymouth family is keeping their neighborhood interesting this Halloween. I had the chance to visit a display that's like no other in the area. In the daylight hours, a walk in this quiet Plymouth cul-de-sac may bring up some questions.
I wouldn't even call it organized chaos, it's just disorganized chaos.
Questions that homeowner Nate is happy to answer.
Yeah, you just wait.
After some steps.
All right.
Plug in the outlet.
We'll get the next section going.
and the plastic piles come to life in all shapes, colors, and sizes.
This started as like 6 of them 9, 10 years ago, and we thought it was really funny.
Since the collection started, it has only grown
Sometimes I have to wade back in here and get them all,
massively.
wake up!
And every Halloween, he rises to the occasion. Much like the many
Did you ever see the movie Little Shop of Horrors? That's Audrey.
inflatables.
I want to say we have something like 70 something up right now. I don't count them because I don't want to feel like I have to outdo myself every year as far as number-wise.
They range from spooky Halloween classics to the inflatable tube man.
It is really just a Halloween tantrum, and it's just Halloween barfing everywhere.
Nate says his neighbors are in on it,
Sometimes you'll get like 5 or 6 cars show up at once.
and all kinds of people pull up, sometimes hundreds a season.
Come on, Minnie, showtime.
He says he's happy to talk to them.
How did you do this? Why did you do this? What's wrong with you?
And he has no plans of slowing down or going smaller. The latest addition is a 20-foot Frankenstein's monster, and Nate's happy to keep it up for years to come.
It's the smiles on my kids, the smiles on my neighbors, the smiles on the, the people who visit.
You can find Nate's address in the Facebook group Minnesota Home Haunts and Halloween Fans. We'll have a link at ccxmedia.org.